Take an example for given good. Mm, when we'll take this example by using price of bread and meat. Okay, when price of bread increases, people people will even consume bread by reducing consumption of meat in order to have their regular caloric intake. But when price of bread decreases, people will reduce consumption of bread and increase their consumption of towards meat. So by this way, there is a positive relationship between price as well as demand, quantity demanded. When price increase, people start buying more of this in this case by reducing expenditure upon some other goods. And when price decreases, the quantity demand also decreases because people start the think that this is an inferior good. So we have told I had told that earlier that given good is an inferior good for a consumer. Okay, and Veblen good are those goods which when income increases, when price of a good increases, people will start buying more of that good. Best example of Veblen goods is diamonds. And supply analysis next. Next we'll move on to the supply analysis topic, the second aspects of the chapter. Here, what is supply? The willingness of the producer to produce a good or service at a given price. That is, in till now, in the demand concept, we have completely discussed and deal about consumer point of view. But now in supply, we'll discuss from the producer point of view. So, it what price consumer the producer are willing to produce, how much quantity is what is said by supply. So, in this supply, we are going to discuss what is a law of diminishing marginal returns. Before going to the topic of law of diminishing marginal returns, we'll first understand what is total productivity, average product, as well as marginal product. Total product is nothing but output of the entity entire output. Average productivity is the output divided by number of labors, and marginal productivity is the change in output by change in labor. So total productivity is a total output which the company produced. Average productivity, we can say it as average production per labor. Marginal productivity, we can say it as additional output produced by adding an additional labor. What is an additional output achieved by adding an additional labor is what discussed, what we understand by marginal product. And now, and okay, let's understand law of diminishing marginal returns with an example. Let's think with an example. Let's take a piece of land, an acre of land, where the farmer is solely working on the land. When he start hiring laborers, at the beginning stage, the marginal productivity, that is productivity per labor, increases to some extent. After maybe after after hiring more employees, the productivity, the additional productivity start reducing, but the total product start increasing. But additional uh, change in quantity is less when compared to change in labor. After at some point, the change in marginal product will be negative. That is, by hiring more employees, more laborers, there is no change in total productivity. And even at that point, the farmer has more laborers. The total revenue will start, total product will start decreasing due to increase in cost. Maybe, yeah. Then so in this till this point, the marginal productivity start is increasing, and this from this to this, the marginal productivity is reducing because additional productivity is reduced, and after this point marginal productivity will be negative, and this is point at this point it is zero. So production function, simply it is what described here. When total production was increasing drastically, then marginal product start increasing. Total product increasing not that much, but then marginal productivity is reducing. When total productivity start reducing, the marginal productivity will be zero. That means total productivity increase till marginal productivity is equals zero or greater than zero. After that, the total productivity will also decrease. And average productivity is total productivity by quantity, and average total cost is total cost by quantity. Marginal cost, these are we discussed. These average marginal we have discussed before itself. And now, okay, let's see this substitution and income effect of income effect. This is normal goods, inferior goods, giffen as well as Veblen goods. Substitution effect, income effect. A substitution effect of a normal good. When there is an increase in price of substitute, people start moving to our goods. So there is a positive relation. Quantity demand will increase, price increases. So inferior goods. Mm, when we have discussed earlier the example of bread, so we have a negative relationship because when price increases, the quantity demanded even increases. When price decreases, quantity demand will also decrease. Giffen goods is the same as inferior goods, so it is a positive relationship. And Veblen goods, Veblen goods there is no substitution because it's high value. There is no substitution effect to say. Income effect. Income effect will be positive for normal goods. That is when income increase, the consumption of goods increase, and negative when income increase. Yes, same negative because when income increases, people start consuming less of that good. And given good, it will be same. Inferior and given are the same. And Veblen is positive because when price increase, when income increase, prices also increase. Then people start buying more. Simply to say, when price increases more, the demand for Veblen goods will also increase. When price decrease, demand for Veblen goods also decrease. Okay. Uh, Before moving, okay, okay. Now we'll move on to the third aspect, that is demand and cost curves. Demand and cost curves will discuss about two regions, that is perfect competition and monopolistic competition, in detail explained, discussed in market structures, that is next reading. So in this, see the graph. In the graph here, this line is uh, demand curve, because okay, let's discuss before moving to this. We need to discuss elasticity of demand or some to some extent. This is demand curve. At this point, elasticity of demand is equal to 1. That is, change in demand is equals to change in quantity demand will be equal to change in price. So the elasticity will be -1. At this point, the elasticity will be less than 1. At this point, the elasticity will be more than 1. This is